Hello, this is Taha.
This is Anaina,
This is Movie Masala.
and we're here to yap at you about films we watched recently.
And today we're doing.
Wedding season.
Your whole future was secured.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, here we go again.
Sunita, don't make enemies with the crocodile that shares your waters.
You know, that is just so true, Mr. M, about crocodiles.
You're an economist, Vijay, not a greeting card writer.
I'm just sharing wisdom of their Dadaji. Nick, that's Priya's grandfather. Did she ever...
Right. So this is a film from like 3 years ago, and I watched it when it released, but I rewatched it recently on Netflix because I was in the rom-com-y spirit of last week, and I was just like, maybe I don't want to talk about this like separately because to start off with, it's a rom-com about Indian Americans, specifically brown people, basically of immigrant background in America.
Mhm.
And I wanted to like talk about how the rom-com genre not so much different when you kind of modify it. You just have to add a little bit of spice to it. So basically, I wanted to just see how rom-coms translate.
And I feel that is evidenced by me opening Letterboxd and the first review being, if white people are allowed to enjoy a plethora of mediocre rom-coms, then so are we.
Exactly. That basically sums up exactly what I wanted to say. Thanks for bringing that up because we perfectly summarized this episode at the beginning. So, to start with, it's directed by Tom Day and it stars Suraj Sharma as the male lead, Ravi, and Pallavi
Mhm.
Sharda as the female lead, Asha. And they're both really, really great. Some might remember Suraj Sharma from Life of Pi, in which he is young and fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Pallavi Sharda, I didn't know her, but she's also really, really good in this movie in the sense that she pulls off the rom-com heroine who doesn't need no man, is fully financially independent, and, says the classic, have you considered I don't ever want to get married dialogue? And then, we proceed to the immigrant Indian parents having a crash out about this.
You can't just say that. You can't just give
No.
them that with no context.
Exactly. And so, yeah, see, it has a few like big star names, including Rizwan Manji, who I think is like a comedy genius, who plays Asha's dad. And so it that up to be a good film. And then you
Mhm.
watch it and you're like, this was not bad. Yeah, that's about it. So as far as the plot goes, basically Asha is kind of like this big finance working woman, very independent, and has had a recently broken off engagement. Ravi is kind of masquerading around as this broke-ish guy, and the two of them get set up because their respective mothers are looking for people they want to get married to for their kids, and they get set up and they don't hit it off basically
Okay.
when they meet because Asha basically brushes us off, but Ravi is super intrigued by her independence and her not like other Indian girls-ness.
Oh my. Again, if white people are allowed to enjoy a plethora of mediocre rom-coms, then so are we.
Exactly. And basically, after this point, we have the tropes of we have a fake dating trope, we have the a sibling is getting married trope, we have the hidden secrets, one secretly has a lot of money trope. And I'm going to explain this last one. Basically, remember how I said Ravi's masquerading as this broke guy working in his dad's restaurant? He's not. He's very wealthy from being like a super genius at a young age and going to uni at a really young age, but then dropping out and then starting this kind of like foundation or having a lot of money and then being a DJ because that's his passion.
Like, oh my god, like, that's like such a trope.
Right? And it's like,
How do we create conflict while also making this character perfect?
exactly. And it's like, yes, I want us brown kids to be able to pursue the arts and our dreams and stuff. But a DJ, a DJ. Like, anyway.
You know what? I'll be very honest. Brown DJs, when they actually integrate brown music, that shit's up so good. That is so fun.
Right? This DJ doesn't. Anyway, um, basically the plot progresses. The point is that they're fake dating because they basically want their mothers and the rest of the aunties to get off their backs. And so they make a deal to kind of go to a bunch of weddings as a couple. And then they obviously, fall in love. And then they have the conflict of job, money, and families, and this and that and that. And eventually they end up together. Obviously.
Mhm.
Where it's different is it's less shy to talk about a lot of things that you wouldn't expect in movies about immigrant communities, in the sense that the kids are very kind of, at least Asha is really open with her parents, and that's
Mhm.
like nice to see. I mean, like the bar is really, really low at this point, but it's nice to see parents being supportive of their kids despite kind of whatever their
Mhm.
life circumstances have. So, like Ravi's parents,
It's
they're
healing in a
initially
way.
disappointed in the fact that he kind of dropped out of uni. And it seems as though it's kind of set up to be like they're ashamed of him from dropping out of uni. But actually, it turns out that they're kind of just disappointed because he's lost all his ambition. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice to see. And Asha's parents basically don't want her to get married just for, the whole what will people say if you don't get married kind of thing, but because they don't want her to end up alone. They want her to have a highly successful business. They want, like, as like immigrants themselves, they want her to be successful, earn a lot of money, but they also want her to kind of find someone like they found each other. Which I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a nice, cute addendum that makes it a not copy pasted,
Mhm.
common ass white people American rom-com. It has nuance and it's kind of distinct to the cultures it is trying to represent. But then it just kind of loses you again with all the Bollywood style cringy songs and dance sequences and the really, really bad wedding outfits.
Oh no, man! Like that's so upsetting for an Indian wedding, for you to be like the wedding dress sucks.
The wedding dresses don't suck, but it's like no wedding dress has those many mirrors on it, Justy. Like, just calm down on the mirrors and the glitter, please. It fully glorifies the whole Indian wedding scene, which I think is cute, but also we need to stop with that. We've done it enough. We need to stop with the whole Indian wedding craze. It costs a lot of money. People don't need to be thinking about spending that kind of money. And yeah, it has these moments where it's nice to watch, and then it has these moments where just like, okay, this is both predictable in the rom-com sense and in
Mm.
the narratives about South Asian people sense. Yeah, I kind of just, that's why I'm kind of really ambivalent on this movie. Like I said, it has all the tropes of a rom-com as common as you could find them in every other rom-com you watch from anywhere in the world. It is also kind of like every Bollywood movie, just Americanized.
Fair enough, but I
Because
also think there are some things that just don't translate from Bollywood to that Hollywood type film, right? And it just either comes off as too cheesy or unbelievable, or it just gets smushed down that it loses that character.
exactly, that was exactly my problem with it as well, which was like, I get you're trying to tell quote unquote Indian stories, but you've got to drop the Bollywood, my guy. Just let them do their own stuff. You have a lot more to work with. The Indian diaspora, the South Asian diaspora is huge. Let them breathe. Overall, like you said before, very mediocre, very but still an enjoyable watch. And I'm glad I rewatched it because I definitely have a more like nuanced and forgiving take on it now that I've watched it again and a different lens. Also, after having moved abroad, like becoming a semi part of the diaspora, I some of those bits which seem kind of cringy when you're not as part of the diaspora, like the link with homes, the kinds of ways that you're trying to find connections with like the homeland, you think are
Yeah,
cringy, but then once you
definitely.
get there, you're like, you know what, maybe not. Maybe I do really like those old timey songs, no matter how like slow and sad they are.
Yeah. I
So
think a
I'm
lot of
glad.
like Indian stuff like that does appeal to a diaspora very specifically, because again, the Indian diaspora is so large, and again, so like distributed in some senses as well. So yeah, I think stuff like this is very much made for a target audience like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do get it. And it's like a nice way to come off of the kind of whole marathon of rom-coms I did last week. And look at a modern rom-com. That's not absolute shit. But not the best either. And it's just like part of that building up to a good point. And specifically American, but not white people.
Fair enough. So, yeah, those are our thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. This podcast is produced solely by us with musical assets from Pixabay. If you enjoyed this, please do share it. See you again next time.